And if you love watching people Google for answers,
This is the video for you.
hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Goodberry.
Oh,
Yum.
yum, delicious. They're blueberries. They restore hit points and nourish you for a whole day. They're like lembas bread. This is a first level spell. It is, I would say, probably one of the most incorrectly used spells in the game, but I'm a fan of that interpretation of it, so, you know. It's got range of an action, touch to use, rolls medical material components, requires a sprig of mistletoe, instantaneous duration. Up to 10 berries appear in your hand and are fused with magic for the duration. A creature can use its action to eat one berry. Eating a berry restores 1 hit point, and the berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. The berries lose their potency and they not consume within 24 hours of casting the spell.
Okay, so by misused, are you talking about getting fallen allies up off 0?
Yep.
Because it requires the creature to use its action.
Yep.
However, in your written review, you said that Jeremy Crawford said that's okay.
Yes, that's a rules as intended thing. I still don't know if that is. Let me consult the Twitter oracles. I forgot I wrote that a while ago, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have an interesting jumping off point. But if I already talked about why I'm wrong right now, that'd be really funny. If we have confirmation from Sage Advice that this is intended to be used this way, that is kind of funny, and it is really, really good in this instance. The way that it is played, yeah, I don't know the exact place I linked it to, but we'll assume that rules is intended, you're allowed to feed people good berries. Rules is written, I believe, concretely, the answer is no, you're not allowed to feed people good berries. Rules is intended, there might be the conversation again. We can link my review in the comments below. Where evidently I did that like a year ago. Team, give me a break. That where I referenced good berries working in this fashion.
Unfortunately, it didn't link it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. We'll take my word for it through your recollection of what I wrote.
Oh, I'm looking at it. That's not a recollection.
Oh, even better. Okay. So in the instance where you use this to get somebody off 0, it is fantastic. This is 10 cure wounds at a price of 1 first level spell slot that you can bank. Because what you can do is before a long rest, you cast this, you get the good berries. They last 24 hours. You then long rest, get the first slot back, and are just left with 10 good berries. If you have 15 spell slots lying around, just make a giant pile of berries. There's not a particularly good reason not to, unless you're expecting to get ambushed in the night. So just like, stockpile on some good berries, have a giant bonus extra hit points that are banked from your spellcasting or lack of spellcasting woes, and you can just eat those for as much as you want. And that's genuinely really powerful. They're just handy.
Yeah. And I guess it's worth mentioning. It's not going to come up a lot, but survivalist tables, these do nourish you for a day.
They do.
So there's
they
that.
remove the survivalist element of survivalist tables.
Yes.
Yeah. So not a huge fan of them there, but that is a thing that they are allowed to do. Notably, I think it's important to mention these things are, again, rules as intended, assuming that's the real Sage Advice, Jeremy Crawford talking about it. Familiars are yucky good with these things, because familiars normally can't take the attack action, but they sure can take other actions. And if that action can include giving people good berries, you now have a remote actionless healing word, and that is insanely good. Another note to that is Druids got amended so that they can use a wild shape to get a familiar for a couple hours, which means that you don't even have to have other class options assemble that for you. You as a Druid can use Wild Companion paired with good berries and just have a remote healing tool for the cost of a single wild shape use. And if you're not Moon, you have plenty of the, or Wildfire, or Spores. So if you're not one of the 3 that really care about their wild shape uses, you have plenty of those to go around. So you'll just eagerly keep a squirrel or a pigeon up at your disposal to send these things out and keep people up from off 0. They'll just keep bouncing up and down and up and down and up and down. It's pretty good.
Now, you can administer healing potions to fallen people.
And in the text of the potion of healing, it tells you can do that.
All right. Well, I'm calling it. If you can do that, you can feed them a good berry.
I think that's the general wisdom that has led to the concise and consistent ruling that this is how this works.
All right. So for the purposes of this video, I'm calling it.
Okay,
you can
great.
do this.
Again, talk to your DM about it first. but yes.
Tell him Bob said it was okay.
Sure, that also works. I really think there is something I've undersold about this is just the sheer quantity of hit points that you can just get for free by having a million slots before a long rest, right? Like if you're going out of downtime into an adventuring day, all the druid should do is right before bed, take a minute, spend 10 slots, and make 100 good berries. Right?
Sure.
That seems like a reasonable thing to do.
There was a comment in I think in one of our videos. I think it must have been talking about when we ranked cleric classes. I think that was me and Cameron. But there's a cleric subclass that can improve good berries, I believe.
Community domain is what it says here, and I don't believe that is canon. I can consult the sacred text. I believe this, when I say it's not canon, I mean I believe this is from Matt Mercer's stuff, which is right, like this one falls right on the "this isn't made by Wizards of the Coast" line of the roll 20 options.
Wait, what domain is this?
Community domain is what it says on D&D Beyond.
All right, well, why is that what I'm talking about? I don't think it was that.
That's if you were talking about ranking cleric domains, that is the only one I can think of that would improve this. I guess life domain might.
I think it was life domain, because community domain was not on our list.
Oh. It's in the D&D Beyond, so I figured I'd check. Listen, I don't tell you. As far as life domain goes, they don't natively get this. You have to get this some other way, but if you take a level in Druid and then do life domain things, you would have Disciple of Life. So whenever you use a spell first level higher to restore hit points, that does not work with Goodberry. I don't think. Okay. Because you're using the spell, and I imagine use and cast are different things. Well, if so, it would multiply the healing by Goodberry by a lot. By 2 plus the spell's level, which is 3.
Okay, yeah. I think that was what they were talking about.
Does Disciple of Life. This is going to be Sam Googling things. Work with Goodberry. Let's check the internet. Reddit help. Life Cleric plus Goodberry does not work. Is the first answer on Reddit. Unlucky.
Oh, well.
It says it only works on spellcast, and I would probably agree with that ruling.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, commenter.
JK. Jeremy Crawford clarified in Sage Advice that is not the case, because that's the most voted comment. Don't listen to everything you just immediately see on Reddit, team. That's the moral of this story and this video, apparently.
Well done, commenter.
Thanks, Reddit. You're not useful.
All right. Well, yeah, that's a fun multi-class thing you can do.
Yeah, it really just balloons out party HP. It means like after every encounter, everyone will go back to full HP for the first 5 levels of this game, for sure.
That's what we needed in this game. More out of combat healing options.
More than enough of those. I'm really low on life domain, generally speaking, so I don't think you should do that, because you don't really need to. But if you want to make, like, we have infinite hit point build, stockpiling good berries and multiplying them all by 3 seems like a decent place to start. 4, because it's 2 plus the spell level. Oh man, they get you 4 a pop. Wow. That's pretty gross. That's a lot of hit points. That's more than like 4 of life. By a lot. But you need like multiples of them, so you know. They are also not costing you spell slots. Well, the spell's good. Goodberry's good. Sage advice, never ever spend your action feeding people these if you absolutely can help it. Normally you want something's action that's worth less to do it, like a familiar again. Maybe you do it on like a fighter that can't get engaged or something to that effect. Maybe you absolutely have to use this thing. If you absolutely have to, it's fine. But you, again, ideally have cheaper options to use it. Another thing is spread these out. Give them to the whole party, because if you go down, you want to have other ways to get up, and you don't want people to have to dig through your things to get the berries. So like every morning, to be like, okay, there's 5 people in the party, everyone gets 2. It's an easy place to be. You normally don't need more than 1 of these cast before your long rest. You'll often have a spell slot lying around to just do it. It can be any level. You could upcast this. There's no bonus to upcasting it, but if you got a second level slot lying around, yeah, sure, why not? Make some good berries for tomorrow.
Sage advice.
I really think this little healing spell is probably a 4 out of 5. I don't think you need it if you have healing word, but the fact that it's kind of free, yeah, go for it. I can't really think of a druid I wouldn't take this on. So,
yeah, I can't think of a reason to not give this 5 out of 5. It's
it's still just really healing. The efficiency can be suspect. This isn't replacing healing word by any stretch, right?
Well, I mean, if you got a familiar in the party,
yeah, that familiar has to be alive. There are like familiars aren't
true.
given. Familiars die really easily.
I mean, for a healing word, your caster has to be alive as well.
Yeah, but familiars have 4 hit points or 1 hit point. Your
That's
caster
true.
has like 30 some, hopefully.
Yeah.
So there is a real difference there.
All right. 4 out of 5 is fine.
Yeah. Commenters, let us know if you like rambling about being wrong for the first 2 minutes of videos. That's what this one was.
Yes. And if you love watching people Google for answers,
this is the video for you.
Yes. All
Google,
right, that was
then
Goodberry.
Google, find the wrong answer, announce it proudly and wrongly, and then fix it within 30 seconds.
All right. Goodberry. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let us know what you think about Goodberry down in the comments below. And like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.